This is a First Warn Tri-Cities Severe Weather Alert. Here is Chief Forecaster Skylar Doyle.
Welcome into our First Warn Tri-Cities live severe weather coverage. We do have strong thunderstorm coverage. We don't have any severe alerts right now, but we wanted to come on because we have a strong thunderstorm pushing into the Bristol area that could have some gusty winds up to about 40 miles an hour and some small hail with it. And we believe just because of the nature of these storms, with the storm damage Bristol had on Saturday night, we figured it might be best if we just come on and give you an update on what these storms are doing across the Bristol area right now. So as I try to get our camera resituated, it should be good to go here. Nope, I was wrong. I got to hit one more button on it, and we should be good to go. And then I will take us actually to a double box here. And you're going to get a live look right now at Bristol on that side of the screen. This is a live look at First Warn Doppler radar. I'm Chief Forecaster Skylar Doyle, and we're watching these storms push up and through the Bristol area right now. That's a live look at exit 1 in downtown Bristol there on your screen. So we have that strong storm making its way. It's going to probably say just southeast of 81 as it pushes off to the north and east. The storm is pushing northeast through the city of Bristol right now at, let me see what this storm's moving at, 20 miles an hour. So let's go ahead and back out here and put a storm track on this at 20. There's two storms. I'm putting a storm track on the first one. So this will be across the Bristol downtown area near 628. Abingdon at 709 as this kind of worked its way near the 81 corridor here and could have some strong gusty winds and some small hail within it. So again, we have a little shower developing here on the north side. Right here near the state line, you got a strong thunderstorm and another stronger storm down near between Blumpville and Bluff City. So we got kind of three storms developing here across the Bristol area. So try to turn on our wind direction and velocity. We're having a couple of issues possibly getting that turned on. And there it goes. And we're not looking at any rotation here. I'll turn these blue boxes back on here. But we could have some gusty winds here right in this area. And if I try to turn on our hail tracker, I don't know if it'll work. But I will definitely try. Looks like it's not wanting to come on. But these could have some small hail with them, but they're definitely going to be heavy rainfall producers and maybe some gusty winds brought down to the surface within these storms as they push in here to the city of Bristol over the next little bit. Again, we know Bristol had some pretty strong and severe storms, some really strong, damaging straight line winds from what I've gathered was very likely a microburst that hit Bristol. It was not a tornado. I'm 100% certain it was not a tornado Saturday night. But I can tell you it was very likely a microburst that hit the Bristol area and caused some significant tree damage, widespread tree damage, and scattered power outages. This is not like what we saw on Saturday night. I just want to throw that out there first and foremost. This is not like what we saw on Saturday night. But these are strong thunderstorms. Around 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts could be possible. So we definitely want to keep an eye on these closely as they push off north and east into Washington County, Virginia. These could strengthen. Again, no signs of that right now. The signs are heavy rain, frequent cloud-to-ground lightning possible, and some gusty winds possible up to 40 miles an hour. Can't rule out some pea-sized hail as well with this as it pushes off to the north and east. Real quick, I do want to zoom out because we do have another strong thunderstorm within our viewing area. And since we're on here, it is just west of Burnsville in Yancey County, pushing north toward the Tennessee state line, but Yancey County, North Carolina. And right there, we're looking at some gusty winds, potential of a little bit of a downburst right here near the Burnsville area. So again, if you're in the Burnsville area, just on that, we could see some gustier winds within there. And again, we're covering these strong storms. There is nothing severe on the radar right now. So that's the good news. But there is some stronger storms ongoing across the region. So we thought the best case scenario would be come on, give you just a little bit of information about them, especially with it being around rush hour, dinner time right now around the Tri-Cities. And this is moving through Bristol, kind of on edge as Bristol after what happened the other night. So again, we're watching these storms closely as they push off to the north. If you have your pictures, you can definitely send them to us here as we continue to watch these push off to the north and to the east. So from Blunt, we got a cell here on the north side near exit 7. We got a cell approaching downtown, and another cell in a weakening trend there between Bluntville and Bluff City. You just saw the lightning there on the right side of the screen. You're looking at exit 1 in Bristol, Virginia, from the VDOT cameras there, and right here you got the heavy rain and potential of gusty winds pushing in here to the Bristol area here at 6:30. And again, if we look at our wind speed and velocity, and I turn on those special weather statements back on, right there, that's where we're watching the potential of some gusty winds on the south side of Bristol. So again, we're watching these storms very closely as they continue to north and east. These are strong thunderstorms, not severe at the current time, but with Bristol having the storm damage they had the other night, we figured it would be best to be able to come and give these alerts to you here as they continue to push off north and east. So again, Bristol, all the way down here to Bluff City, up toward the exit 7 area. We're watching this strong thunderstorm push in. I'll zoom in here, kind of give you some landmarks. Right here's I-81, the strongest part of this thing, just southeast of I-81 near the Tennessee-Virginia border. It's pushing off to the north and east. So again, northeast here, there's a downpour over near exit 7. The stronger winds are probably in this southern one down here between Bristol, Walnut Hill. Right here would be the Pinnacle area. So again, this is the State Street downtown area right here. This is Volunteer Parkway right here. This goes out to Highway 421 right here. And so again, and you got the other one down here near BMS, and these cells are really starting to take some shape here. So again, this is why we wanted to come on. We're seeing a little bit of a hail core now showing up on the north side of Bristol as these cells congeal, and also with them moving northeast and all this heavy rain, and then with all the rain Bristol saw Saturday, I'd start getting concerned about some isolated flooding in the Bristol area as well. So we're just going to stay with these storms here in Bristol for a little bit. We're starting to see a little bit of small hail, potentially Pete and nickel size hail on the north side of Bristol. As these cell mergers happen, we could see some strong winds within this. Again, 40 to 50 mile an hour winds are possible within these storms. Let me turn this me off, and you'll have just the radar and the camera for a minute. I'm going to see if I can get an exit 7 camera for us. I will just have to change some things around. We've got a perfect exit 7 camera that I'm just having to get right now. So if you all will just give me one moment, I'll get that exit 7 camera here. But again, we're looking at a strong thunderstorm pushing through the Bristol area. Again, if you're in Bristol, you want to be inside. This thing has a lot of lightning within it. And some gusty winds as well. You're about to see is from the exit 7 area of Bristol. So there on the screen is now exit 7 area, just a little past exit 7. So again, we're watching these closely. Let me hold the Weather Service chat, make sure they've not issued any additional alerts on this. And let me put me back here on the wall. And here we go. So again, these strong storms, they push up through exit 7 and through the Bristol area. We're getting a little bit of radar interference. That's what the purple is. But where these kind of reds and greens are and kind of separating, that's the potential for a downburst, microburst here in Bristol. Again, that's what caused this widespread wind damage here on Saturday night. And yes, we're looking at the potential for some nickel to quarter size hail on the north side of Bristol right now. So again, if you're in Bristol, I don't think we're seeing ping pong ball size hail, but I think nickel to quarter size hail, potentially a good bet right around exit 7. So if you're at the exit 7 area, nickel to quarter size hail definitely possible within this strong thunderstorm. As of right now, it's not severe. Wouldn't be shocked if we get a warning on this. Let's see if I can zoom in here. It looks like we're not going to get road names here. But this is the exit 7 area right here. Right here is exit 7. So again, we could have some nickel to quarter size hail here in the exit 7 camera. That's mile marker 8.6 on the right side of your screen. Again, watching for the potential of hail as this storm pushes off to the north and east out of the city into Washington County. So again, we're watching this closely. These are the strong thunderstorms we're watching, kind of training through Bristol. So we'll watch for not only some gusty winds, but some hail and some flooding concerns as well throughout the city of Bristol and into Washington County, Virginia, down here into Sullivan County and the northern part of Sullivan County as well. As I pull back up the velocity imagery, right here, not rotation within this at all, just some gusty, damaging straight line wind gust of 40 to potentially up to 60 miles an hour possible. They do still have that blue polygon strong thunderstorm alert on this. We'll see if they upgrade it to a severe thunderstorm warning if this continues to strengthen. That's mile marker 8.9 over there on that side of your screen in the double box. And this is slowly pushing off to the northeast at about 20 miles an hour. So if you're in the Bristol area, you want to stay indoors a little longer. This is a heads up to Abingdon. If you're in the Abingdon area, you want to start getting your way indoors. You have some light rain right now, but the strongest part is still down to your southwest toward Bristol, moving northeast. This is going to move along I-81. I-81 go. There's people driving with their hazards on right now. They're on I-81 between exit 7 and exit 10 as this very strong thunderstorm with the potential for P to nickel, maybe some size hail and some strong gusty winds of 40 to 60 miles an hour makes its way up I-81 through the Bristol area at this time. So again, if you're, and this thing does have a lot of thunder, a lot of lightning, so you want to make sure that you are indoors during this thunderstorm as it pushes through the Bristol area right now. So again, as we continue just watching these storms closely, we are watching these as they continue to push through. Again, a lot of damage already in Bristol from Saturday's storms. So even though this is not severe, we're on the air because of that. You can probably hear the thunder in the background here in Bristol. This is some very loud thunder, a lot of lightning, gusty winds, small hail, potentially up to quarter-size hail. Again, so we're watching these storms closely. Again, that's why we're on the air here, why we're providing you wall-to-wall coverage of this storm. We're digital. We don't have to worry about cutting into a TV program. So we can be here, and anytime we think there is a need to be here, we can be here because we're not cutting off a TV program. So that's the one nice thing about this, and that is what we're doing right now. So again, strong thunderstorm pushing up through the Bristol area. Again, you got some isolated flooding concerns here with how much rain. Bristol saw 2 to 4 inches of rain Saturday night. This is just adding on to it because this is moving very slow at 10 to 20 miles an hour off to the northeast and pushing off to the northeast. Again, the strongest part of this is over Bristol. Yes, Bluff City, Blumpville, Kingsport seeing some rain, but the strong winds and the hail is over Bristol right now. So that's why we're focusing on Bristol, is because of how where the storm is positioned right now and where the strongest part of this storm is, where the strongest core of the storm is. It's over Bristol, continuing to push off to the north and east. Bluff City, Blumpville on the back side of it, just light to moderate rain now, and the rain has already ended in Colonial Heights for the most part, just some sprinkles or light rain. So this is pushing northeast out of Bluff City, out of Blumpville. Yes, they were affected by this, but it wasn't as strong as what it is now in Bristol. This one has kind of, the storm has started strengthening, it has grew some, and that's why we've decided to come on and provide coverage during this storm as it continues to push off to the north and east. So again, strong gusty winds and some small hail are the main threats. Let me see if I can get our hail tracker back up and working. Sometimes it likes to work, sometimes it doesn't. I'm going to assume right now is a time that it doesn't like to work. Go back to our velocity imagery. Yep, we're seeing a signature of a possible some gusty winds right here near the exit 7 area, pushing toward exit 10 right here. That's where you could see those gusty winds within this storm. Again, could have some downed trees and power line potential in Bristol. Could also have some flooding concerns as well as it continues to push off to the north and east. That's where the strongest part of the storm is now, is around the exit 5, 7, and 10 areas of Bristol. If it's not got to you, it's coming. This is that strong thunderstorm alert. Blumpville, Bluff City, all clear from anything strong in this storm. Anything strong is from basically the Pinnacle, north and east here in the city of Bristol. Loud thunder, lightning, gusty winds, small hail, and heavy downpours here in the Bristol area. So again, if you are in Bristol, you want to seek shelter indoors right now because even the lightning alone is dangerous. But we have those gusty winds as well as that small hail potential within this. Could see some peat and nickel size hail. Can't rule out an isolated quarter size hail here or there. And some gusty winds, probably in the matter of 30 to 50 miles an hour, but isolated gusts to 60, I wouldn't rule out within this storm as it pushes to the north and east, especially if the storm starts to collapse and create a microburst. I would not be shocked to see some 60-mile-an-hour winds as it pushes to the north and east and brings all that water and wind down with it. So again, you see mile marker 8.9 just north of X7 on the right side of your screen. This is a live look at first warn Doppler radar at 6:38 on this Monday afternoon as we're watching these severe thunderstorms here. As we go up to the north and east here. So right here, you can see this storm continues to build. It's got a lot of heavy rain with it. That's my concern right now, is how heavy this rain is over Bristol, and the flooding concerns potentially, because we've got the heavier downpours stretching now from north of Abingdon toward Gladesbury all the way down the interstate here. We could see some flooding issues here throughout Washington County if we don't watch out soon and some of this doesn't start to weaken, because this is going to be a lot of rainfall. It is slow moving. This stuff only moving at 15 miles an hour could cause some flooding issues. I would expect flood advisories or some kind of flood warnings to come shortly here in Washington County, Virginia, here, because this is a lot of rainfall over areas that seen a lot of rainfall on Saturday. So again, Bristol, Abingdon, kind of going to get the brunt of this storm. Because of how they have just kept developing upstream and training over the same areas. So again, that is what we're watching right now. Again, watching the wind potential near exit 7 to exit 10. Again, you see the heavy rain at mile marker 8.9 there along the interstate. Let me see if the hail tracker is going to work. I have a very good feeling it's not, but we might as well try it. And it's working now. So you can see potential for some small hail near the downtown area, potentially peat and nickel. But if we're seeing anything severe hail-wise, it's going to be in Washington County. It was a loud boom of thunder here. It's going to be near Old Jonesboro Road area, Foothills Trail, Sky Knob Trail, Halls Bottom Road, County Road 663. If we're seeing any hail, it's going to be in this area. Ayers Lane also. So this is where we're watching for the potential of some hail within this storm, potentially nickel to quarter size hail here in the Bristol area. So again, this is pushing off north and east right now into Washington County. Well, the hail core of this right now, continuing to track northeast, will be on the south side of Abingdon. It's staying southeast of 81. Can't rule out small hail anywhere within this thunderstorm, but any nickel to maybe isolated quarter-size hailstones are going to be southeast of I-81. We'll pull up the velocity right here, where these reds and greens are kind of coming apart here. That isn't indicative of rotation. Normally when we're talking about reds and greens, we're talking about rotation. This isn't a couplet of rotation. This is what we look for when we're looking for the potential of a downburst or microburst with strong gusty winds within this storm. And it's right there in the heaviest core of the storm, which is what we would expect with this. So again, as we zoom out and take a whole look at Washington County, Virginia as a whole, because that's where the strongest activity is right now, it's from just south of Saltville, down through Abingdon, down through Bristol. That's where we have some very heavy rain. So we'll look for flooding concerns, because this is all training over the same area. And when this trains like this, that's when you watch for flooding. It's one storm after another, with heavy rain. They're slow movers. So that's what we're going to watch as this continues to move up the interstate through Washington County. Again, watching these strong winds and potential of small hail pushing through the Bristol area right now. Again, this is not severe. Want to stress that enough. The Weather Service has not placed a severe thunderstorm warning on this. They do have a special weather statement on this, calling it a strong thunderstorm. But again, want to just give you notice of this strong storm as it pushes through the Bristol area. So again, the potential for gusty winds, isolated flooding concerns, and some hail potential as well within this storm here. There could be a little bit of pea-size, maybe nickel-size hail downtown, but any nickel to quarter-size hail now into Washington County near the Old Jonesboro Road, Halls Bottom Road area there in Washington County, Virginia. Again, so this is another strong storm pushing up toward Bristol right now and pushing through Bristol. Behind it, we're not really seeing any development, so that's good. So, you know, the back shield of the rain is basically the Colonial Heights area. So that's good, but this is a lot of heavy rain. I would say probably rainfall rates 2 inches an hour. If it sits over you for an hour, that's going to create some problems fast. Now, with expect flood advisories to come out shortly. We already have flood advisories down into Carter County area, into Washington County, I believe parts of Unicoi County, parts of Johnson County as well on the Tennessee side. So again, we're going to watch these closely as they continue pushing off to the north and east. So again, strong gusty winds, heavy rain, small hail, isolated flooding concerns pushing through the Bristol area right now. This is what we're watching very closely here. I don't believe we've got any storm reports yet from the Weather Service. We do not. I'll continue checking these, checking for any reports from the Weather Service. Not seeing anything right now. Also try to see. Looks like we have some isolated, River Creek overflowing report from Sullivan County right now on MPing, which is a report service that's used. But right now, no wind damage reported so far here. Again, this is an expansive area of heavy rain and gusty winds and some small hail. I do think maybe this strong to severe threat in this might be diminishing a little bit. But definitely not the flooding threat. I think the flooding threat is rising for the Bristol, northern Sullivan County, all of Bristol, into the Washington County, Virginia area. I think the flooding threat is rising there. Here, as we continue to look, here is the velocity imagery. Again, I'm not seeing as indicative of signatures now on this, velocity-wise for wind, which is good. I hope it stays that way. And again, but this area of heavy rain from Abingdon to Bristol concerns me for some flooding concerns, especially in low-lying areas. So you want to heed any flood alerts that get issued by the Weather Service here over the next little bit. So again, we're watching these strong thunderstorms as they push their way through the Bristol area right now, as it is 6:45 on this Monday evening here. I'm First Warn Tri-Cities Chief Forecaster Skylar Doyle, watching these storms as they push up to the north and east through the Washington County, Virginia, Bristol, Virginia area now, Bristol, Tennessee on the back end of it. Anything strong to severe across the state line now. But definitely still some light to moderate, even maybe some spots of heavy rainfall on the Tennessee side of the state line near the Virginia border. Back into the light rainfall, about to approach Bluff City, Bristol. There is still some lighter rainfall near Colonial Heights. They'll kind of scoot up into the Blountville area. Lighter rain about to move out of Bluff City. And then we got these up to the northwest. While we're still here, I will, Weather Service chat just ding. That's outside of our area. Let me just check the special weather statements again, because I do not have one in Yancey County, North Carolina anymore. It's just this one in Bristol now, so that is good. I just had a power flicker here, so if the power goes, we might lose this live stream. We're having the power flicker here due to these storms. So power flickers here in the Bristol, Virginia area. Right now, because of these storms, I've had one monitor go. I believe we're still on the air. Because the lights just flickered. I'm hoping the internet stayed. Looks like the internet has stayed. I had a monitor go out. I'll have to fix that in a little while. But again, here we're going to continue to watch these again. If the live stream goes off, we are not turning it off yet. That will be because I'm going to turn my camera off, try to get us a different camera on the right side here, maybe an Abingdon camera. But that would be because of power. If it does, I'm try to find us a good Abingdon camera. We'll get this one from 17 in here. But again, we should still be on the air here. We're still tracking this strong thunderstorm moving through the Bristol area. The Abingdon camera should pop up. There is a live look, exit 17, Abingdon, Virginia. Right now, as this continues to push its way on up to the north and east, right through here again. So from basically this right here, all the way up through here is where I'm concerned about flood concern. Look at all this heavy rain. This is probably going to be easily 2 inches of rain that's going to fall in this area. We'll have to look at rain amounts as we go. Let me see if I can try to get some 1-hour rainfall estimates so far. Yeah, we're looking at some 1-hour rainfall totals of already almost an inch in parts of Bristol, where the heaviest rain still has not fallen. So let's see if the hail tracker will come on. Yeah, we could be seeing some P to nickel size hail throughout this storm, but especially up toward the Abingdon area now, near exit 17, near the downtown area, we could be seeing some small hail within this. So again, you can see radar indicating some spots up to quarter-size hail. I think we're probably a little below that threshold, but we'll watch it. That is not what's supposed to be the color table. It's supposed to be up. So that is what we're looking at. A lot of heavy rain within this. That's the main threat, but some gusty winds, some small hail. That's kind of what we're looking at for the strong storm threats here. And then also looking at the potential of some isolated flooding, basically from the Pinnacle in Bristol, north and east through Abingdon. So if we get a flood advisory, which I would suspect we will at some point or another get some kind of advisory or something, that's about how I would expect to be drawn, to include the northern parts of Sullivan County, a good part of Washington County, Virginia, at least up to the Abingdon area here as these strong storms continue to move through. We'll stay here for a few more minutes. I think maybe the wind threat in this, the hail threat in this is dying some, just looking at all the radar data. But the heavy rain threat's not. The potential for isolated flooding within this area is not. But we do have that potential for some strong winds, still some strong gusty winds, and a small hail within this storm. So again, if you're watching us, just let us know. And looks like we're getting a new alert. Yeah, so we're going to get a new special weather statement here. Let's see how they drew this. It's not popped up yet. So a strong thunderstorm will impact, let's see, so they've included northeast Sullivan, southeast Russell, Washington County, and the far northwest part of the city of Bristol through 7:30. The storm has started to move a little bit faster at 30 miles an hour, and it'll have some wind gusts of 45 mile an hour possible and pea-sized hail, according to the Weather Service. So it clips Sullivan County and Russell County, mainly for Washington County here. And it's that new blue polygon right here that we're watching. For this storm here that's continuing to push northeast, it goes to the Smith and Tazewell County borders. Most of this is going to probably stay south of Russell County, though. And it's kind of a training line of heavy rain and potential for some gusty winds and some pea-sized hail within this. So again, we'll watch it closely as it continues to push off to the north and east, but we do think the wind threat's starting to die down, the hail threat's starting to die down. The heavy rain threat is not. So if you're traveling along I-81 throughout the Bristol area, definitely want to be advised. In the Abingdon area, you want to be advised. It'd probably be a good idea to stay off the road right now in those areas, and in Abingdon. And boom, I told you this was going to happen. We just got a flood advisory. I told you we'd get some kind of flood alert. I'd be shocked if we didn't. And it's for the exact area I told you it was likely going to be. It's for, you're seeing it come across there on the bottom of the screen. It's for north central Sullivan, most of Washington County, and the city of Bristol. For minor flooding in low-lying and poor drainage areas. They're saying that minor flooding is ongoing or expected to begin shortly. Bristol, Tennessee, Bristol, Virginia, Abingdon, Walnut Hill, Glade Spring, Highlander Park, Holston, Lindale, Emory, Meadowview, and Benhams, all in this this flood advisory, and that goes until 8:45 tonight for a good part of the Bristol area up into Abingdon. Let's check this just to make sure that's what that is. It'll be just a second here. Let me see if I can get you a graphic for that flood advisory up. I'm going to pull this from our auto alert system here because it won't pop up on this map. And let's put that in here. It'll take me just a second to get this flood advisory up. So there's the flood advisory. that you're seeing there. That is for the Bristol area, Abingdon area. So like northern Sullivan County, most of Washington County would probably be in it, and the entirety of the city of Bristol. So like we told you, we figured some kind of flood alert was coming. So there's the flood advisory there for the Bristol, Abingdon, Glade Spring, Emory area, Meadowview area. Northeast part from basically the Pinnacle in Sullivan County up through Bristol, through Abingdon, through Glade Spring. We told you it was probably coming, and there it is. So we figured that was coming. Told you it probably was, and there it is. So that's what we're watching here. We're going to zoom out into a regional view before we go off the air here. Alright, so here's what we're watching. The rest of the region, a few showers down toward Johnson City, good bit of rain in Johnson County here. Let me turn off me for just a second while I reset this. Good bit of rain there in Johnson County, light to moderate. Nothing major there. And then we have a little bit of rain to the south. A little bit of development we'll watch. The heaviest rain here in Washington County, Virginia, about to push into Smith County. A few isolated storms, northern Tazewell County into Buchanan County. So we're going to watch this stuff closely. We'll come back on the air if needed. For now, we're going to go off the air. If we get any severe weather alerts, we'll definitely be on the air. But we'll watch these strong storms. If we think we need to come on the air, we will. That's a good thing about here on our digital platform, First Warn Tri-Cities. We're not like the TV stations. We don't have to interrupt programming. To bring you severe weather if we're going to do it. We just come on live, and we can stay here for as long as we want because we have nothing to interrupt. So we will keep you watching. Again, remember the flood advisory. Watch for some isolated flooding in northeast Sullivan County, most Washington County, Virginia, Bristol, Virginia area as well. And we'll watch these strong storms, still some 30 to 40 mile an hour winds, some small pea-sized hail possible in those. And a lot of lightning and thunder also there in Washington County, Virginia. The back edge of the rain there, just pushed through Johnson City, about to push through Blountville, Bluff City, the final little bit pushing through the east side of Kingsport. We'll watch for any more development throughout the afternoon and evening. If any warnings are issued, we'll let you know. This round right here, though, probably the last round of thunderstorms for the evening, but if any of this goes severe before it exits the first warning area, we'll be back on the air to let you know about it. For now, though, we'll send you back. We'll go off the air here. We'll be back if need be. For now, though, from the First Warn Tri-Cities Weather Center, I'm First Warn Tri-Cities Chief Forecaster Skylar Doyle.